This week on Two Noobs, Volkswagen is in hot water again, this time because apparently you have to pay them to get your kidnapped child back. Next, we have more NFL chicanery. A former sideline reporter admits to making crap up. And did the Cincinnati Bengals violate the silly injury report policy? We'll find out. Then, Vegas is getting another sports team. What did they do to deserve it? Finally, we go brand battling. Sorry, we are all out of Coke. Is Pepsi okay? Hunter Biden says never! Start the music. That's right. It is the ass beating that is Two Noobs Talking. Episode 100. What are you laughing at?
The ass beating? I'm not sure if that's really appropriate, but who knows? Ass kicking. Yes, there you go. There you go.
I don't know how that's better, but that's fine. And speaking of ass kicking, it is episode 164. Don't get the transition, but that's fine. This is what happens when John's missing 2 weeks in a row. You know
Amazing.
Where do
you think he is right now?
Where in the world is John Tracy and Diego? I want to say Arkansas.
Ooh, Arkansas.
Yeah,
that sounds like a foreign country. I'm going to say Kentucky right now.
Kentucky? Okay.
Yeah. He's decided to go up and over the top of something. Maybe. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll have to find out when he gets home, but
yeah, right. Well, he is missing yet again.
Yeah.
And we sadly miss him, although he liked last week's episode, so pressure's on. We got to get this one right.
Yeah, hopefully this will be right.
Hopefully we can do something good. Once again, I don't know which direction to look at you, so I'm just going to continue to ignore you.
Okay.
The gentleman at one part of your screen is monosodium glutamate Matt Craig. No MSG.
No MSG.
I am scratch and sniff Steve Murray, but don't scratch too hard.
I don't want to sniff you.
Well, that's good, because that would be weird.
Yeah, that would be really weird.
Good God. What a train wreck of a show we have already. How are you doing today, this fine Saturday that we're recording, sir?
Hey, I am well, sir. I am glad to be with you. Obviously sad that John is not being able to make it, but hopefully he's having safe travels on his way back. And since this episode will be coming out on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I want to wish everybody out there in Two Noobs Land a safe travel to whatever destination you're going to for Thanksgiving. And Mr. Steve, I hope you have a terrific Thanksgiving as well, sir.
Likewise, I also hope I have a terrific Thanksgiving. No, I wish you as well, Mr. Craig.
Thank you.
Thanksgiving, you and your family.
Yeah.
Wherever you may be partaking in the traditional turkey.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. But we got some great Thanksgiving news. It'll already been passed by the time the episode drops, but I found out just a little while ago that Taylor Swift will not be attending the Monday night Eagles-Chiefs game.
Whoa! Okay.
So we have much to be thankful for.
So definitely, yes, definitely, for sure. I thought for sure she was going to be there, and my over bet of her, more than 20 times being shown. I'm surprised she's not there.
Apparently, according to what I saw, I think she canceled a concert. I don't know if it was supposed to be today or if it was earlier, and I think it's getting made up Monday or something. Or she's going to be in South America still as of Monday.
So there's no breakup. There's no breakup in the planning at all.
Not that I told you it's going to be after the Super Bowl.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they've got to draw the money out of the Swifties until the end of the season.
Come on, give us money.
Please give me money. At 164, here we go.
Yeah.
With our fun fact and over 40 rant, brought to you by W Energy Drinks. Visit w.gg, that's DUBBY.g. Get it out of your mouth, Steve.
There you go.
It's late. Enter the promo code Too Noobs Talking. It's TOO as in two, as in also as well. Noobs Talking. Get 10% off your order for whatever kind of flavor you like. Matt likes them salty tears.
There you go.
Go for it.
Or that cranberry, whatever.
Fruit, cranberry.
Yeah.
And just as a reminder, folks, visit our website at twonoobstalking.wordpress.com to see all our old episodes. And link to audio sites where you can get us for your audio podcast. You can listen to us in the car without crashing because you're watching us on video.
There you go. Absolutely.
So in the absence of Mr. Tracy, Mr. Craig, you have the floor for the fun fact of the week.
Yes. And I love this, Steve, because I think when I was 2, I did this maybe to get my mother's attention, but it was really stupid. I was banging my head against the refrigerator door when I was...
That explains a lot.
That explains an awful lot, yeah. But according to this fun fact, and this is true, the factsite.com, banging your head against a wall for 1 hour burns 150 calories.
Is that all?
I guess so. But they also mentioned this. If you're not keen on losing brain cells, there you go. You might want to give this calorie burning idea a miss. A safer way to burn 150 calories would be to take the dog for a walk for 45 minutes. So there you go. Which would you prefer?
I like to give myself a concussion while I'm working out. It makes me forget I'm working out.
Yeah. I don't know what would possess someone to bang their head against the wall for 1 hour in order to lose 150 calories. It doesn't sound like it's a good trade-off.
I'd like to know who did that math. who decided, I wonder how many calories you would burn if you were banging your head against the wall for an hour.
Ooh, it's brutal.
And to me, 150 calories is not worth it. Now,
totally not worth it.
You tell me I could burn 800. I might take you up on that.
Yeah. Well, even for me, that's probably a hard pass still, because you're banging your head for an hour against the wall. Give me
I couldn't wear a helmet or something.
Well, I was just going to say, maybe that might be a helmet idea. You put like a hockey helmet on or a football helmet on. Now we're talking, that kind of a deal. So maybe that might be a better option. That's for sure. So, but there you go.
Well, if anyone takes on, actually, I should probably, for legal purposes, please do not attempt what Mr. Craig is suggesting at home.
That was the number one thing, by the way, on that website. That was the number one thing as a fun fact, which I was like, huh? But anyway, we went with it. Why not? So there you go. Right.
Okay. Well, speaking of calories, this, segues nicely into my over 40 rant.
Okay.
And this actually occurred to my son this afternoon while we were having lunch.
There you go.
Restaurants who put the condiments on the underside of the sandwich or burger or what have you. What the hell? Okay. You put the ketchup or mustard or mayonnaise or whatever the hell slop you put on your burger, and the restaurant puts it on the bottom of let's just say it's a burger, on the bottom of the burger.
On the bottom of the bun?
No, not on the bun. On the bottom of the burger patty.
Oh,
so you have
what?
Bun, condiments, patty, bun.
No,
people have done it. I don't understand why, and the reason I hate it. The reason I hate it because as you're trying to eat your sandwich, the bottom bun is just sliding around.
Yeah,
sliding around everywhere.
No,
and it's you lose your grip on the sandwich. Your patty goes flying out.
Next thing you know, you got to get a knife and a fork, and you feel like an idiot because it's like,
Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm doing this. That kind of a deal. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
If you're eating a burger with a fork and a knife, well, you should consider yourself lucky that you've never seen it. I've seen it more times than I would care to, and probably the worst time it ever happened. It wasn't just condiments. I had ordered sauteed onions.
Oh,
burger.
Yeah.
On the bottom. You know how slippery sauteed onions are?
They're bad. Yeah.
All that grease.
Yeah.
That thing, what a mess.
There's just not enough, really, even if you're talking the bottom of that bun, right? And you're putting all of those condiments on there, it will have just the friction alone and the grip, like it just deteriorates the bottom of the bun so quickly. It's like and then it's messy. Then you got to clean your hands off, and how many times you have to wipe your hands on a napkin or something like that. Oh,
I'm glad you mentioned deteriorating, because that's another thing that happens when you put all that stuff, because the bottom bun is the thinner one typically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when it goes on the bottom, it eats away, and with all the sliding and friction, it eats away and rubs away, and now you have like a hole right in the middle of the bottom. You put the stuff on the top because the top bun can absorb it.
I guess their idea is, well, you're going to eat it fast anyway. Might as well we put the condiments on the bottom of the bun or the bottom of the burger. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There's got to be. It's got to be something where it's on top.
I thought maybe it was the concept of, when I go to Olive Garden, the garlic breadsticks, I eat them upside down.
Oh, there you
Why?
go.
Because the garlic is on the top, and if I flip it over, the garlic is in contact with my tongue, and I get the zesty goodness.
There you go.
Garlic. Maybe they're like, oh, well, if we put the condiments on the bottom of the sandwich, No. Mechanically, it is unsound.
How dare you?
And exactly. Restaurants that do this, you are on notice. I'm coming for you.
Exactly.
I will sue you.
Yeah. There you go. And he's a patent lawyer, so watch out. So there you go.
That's right. So I don't have any idea what I'm doing, and
maybe number 2 will be on the case there. I don't know. Who knows? But
God help us if that's the case.
At least he asks good questions, Steve. That's the thing. He always asks good questions. He just doesn't follow up on his advice that he gets.
You give some people too much credit. All right.
There you go.
Speaking of suing, we're going to go into topic 1 here.
Oh boy. Yeah,
this really got our dander up.
Oh yeah.
John was, I think, ready to jump out of his screen when we had this in pre-production.
Well, you too. I think you were just like
I too, but I mean, John wanted a piece of law enforcement, which I don't think was proper in this case.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think he was so outraged, he was blaming everybody.
Yeah, it was about like this couple, right? That the wife's getting out of the car, essentially.
Yeah, so Illinois family has a Volkswagen. Hopefully John's not traveling in a Volkswagen.
No, please.
Woman, 6 months pregnant, by the way, when this happens, has her 2-year-old in the backseat of her Volkswagen. Pulls into her driveway. Another car pulls in right behind her. Next thing she knows, she's getting carjacked. And actually, they ended up running her over. Thank God she was okay, and the baby ended up being okay.
Yeah.
Because she broke her pelvis, and she was 6 months pregnant at the time. But so her car was stolen right out of the driveway with her 2-year-old son strapped in his car in the back seat. Obviously, 911, right? Call 911.
Got to do it.
Reporting my car has been stolen. My son has been kidnapped. I need help. I've been run over, sent an ambulance, etc. Somewhere along the line, they must have figured out it was a Volkswagen, because the 911 operator said, then, do you have the app on your phone through Volkswagen?
Wow.
To which the response was, yes, I have that. And this was Lake County, Illinois, by the way. So the Lake County sheriff deputies, they call Volkswagen and say, hey, we got a stolen car, kid in the back. It's a kidnapping. Could you tell us where the car is, or turn it off, or, throw us a bone here.
Yeah.
Throw us a bone. Volkswagen's response.
Wait for it.
Well, that service has expired for this customer, and we're not giving the GPS information until we receive the $150 subscription fee.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Wow.
Eventually, her husband gave Volkswagen a credit card and paid the bill and unlocked the information. And by that point, thankfully, the child had been set free. Was found wandering near a parking lot. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The stolen car was actually also found abandoned a few miles away, but thankfully the child was safe. This is the most important thing.
Yeah.
What is this world coming to, man?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, there are so many different directions that we can go with this story, and hopefully we can touch on a couple of them, Steve. But because obviously you have two. You got a son and a daughter, both approaching teenage years. But I can't even imagine, because I've seen Keith grow up and I've seen your daughter grow up, amazingly over the last decade or so. I can't even imagine. I just can't even imagine like that happening. And I know just how angry and upset you would be to be on the receiving end of something like that. But then also from a customer service perspective, there's some things you just need to stop following policy. You're Volkswagen. You're a multi-million, if not billion-dollar company.
Yeah, I would
you
put
can
a B on
afford
that,
to
probably.
take $150 loss, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you just do it. You don't just say, "Oh, well, it's going to cost you $150 because the GPS." That was the ludicrous thing I've ever heard. And I mean, that was just right up there of just like not reading the room, not reading your callers right for so many years. I mean, bizarre response by Volkswagen's customer service department. I mean, give me a break with that. You gotta be kidding me with that. You gotta look at your training all over again.
Well, now you mentioned in pre-production you had customer. I guess you said you were customer service trained.
Yes.
That in a prior life you were in a similar
call center environment.
So what do you learn in that kind of training? I mean, obviously where you were, I don't think you'd expect to have this kind of issue come up.
No,
but
not to the extent of like, okay, well, we need you to. I never took a call where a cop was like, listen, I need you to, turn, we were a cell phone business. So I mean, there was hardly anything life saving or anything of that sort, but you're trained to basically understand the tenor of the voice of the call, know what to do at that point, and you have the capability to make a decision that's on the fly in that regard. There were multiple times later on, though, that they were pretty much a stickler for, let's just say, a reactivation fee. So if your phone got shut off because of non-payment, there was always a $40 reactivation fee back then. And a lot of times it would just be waived because it was just something that was like, okay, it's the first time you've done it, we'll forgive it, that kind of a deal. Multiple times, though, it always got more difficult because it was like, okay, we're going to have to charge you. But then that's someone else's calling. They would probably bitch and moan and complain, and you end up waiving it anyway. So with this, it's like, I think it's just the fact that the organization we're talking about is an automobile company that is known globally. This is not some mom and pop shop car, something like that, where they're all of a sudden trying to make a buck. They need this extra money in order to, to make a profit. There's more than enough profit going on in Volkswagen. I can't imagine they would be a stickler to say, look, we're going to charge you $150 and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you take a call like that, you understand what's going on. Okay, we're going to make sure that in this situation, we're turning the service on, and there's nothing that's being charged to the customer at all. Period.
I mean, we're not reactivating the service for a year. Okay.
Yeah.
We're asking for the current GPS coordinates.
Yeah.
Because you have a kidnapped child.
Yeah.
And you can't say, okay, here's the GPS coordinate.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And not just, from the story we have here, this was a Fox 32 article, which I think is out of Chicago. Eyeball.
Yeah, there you go.
From the article, it sounds like the police were the ones who called Volkswagen to try and get this through.
Yep.
And I can't even imagine what the police are going, what's going through their mind. Like, seriously, 150?
Yeah.
What? Like, what?
Can you imagine, like, the policeman saying you got to pay $150 just to get this GPS, and the father ended up paying it. And the father's like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now? Like, I've got a 2-year-old that's missing. Last thing I'm doing is paying $150 to some group, to some company, in order to have the privilege of shutting the service off to my car to turn the engine off. Give me a break with that. It's just absolutely ridiculous."
Yeah. Now I looked up what this app is for the Volkswagen car.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's highly comprehensive. I mean, you get vehicle
Mm,
health reports. You can do remote starting from your phone. You get all kinds of crap
yeah. Yeah.
with this service.
Yeah.
This is not a service that's, exclusively for getting a GPS when your car is stolen.
Yeah.
And in this particular situation, it's not just the car stolen, you have a missing child.
Yeah.
And you're on the phone with law enforcement, and you are going to sit there with the audacity to charge a $150 fee. And I don't even care if it's a mom and pop shop trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
You've got a child's life on the line.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
you cooperate with law enforcement. Now, this is where John kind of lost me a little bit because he was like, "Well, why weren't the cops more forceful?" And I don't know what law enforcement could have done in this situation. You're on the
Exactly.
phone.
Yeah.
You're probably talking to somebody in India. The way things go anymore.
Oh, sure.
So it's not like you can threaten to arrest them if they don't cooperate.
We're going to extradite you out of India to come to the United States to arrest you on the spot. Can you
Your
imagine?
charge is accessory to kidnapping. If you were face to face,
Yeah. Yeah.
I, as the parent of that child, I would not hesitate to, be all.
Oh,
for that.
there's all kinds of threats of
But
physical violence or whatnot.
other,
But yeah.
other than yelling at them over the phone,
Yeah.
I don't know what the cops could have done to make them waive the fee.
Yeah.
Ask for the supervisor. We don't know exactly what went on in this call, but the fact that the father eventually had to turn over the credit card
Yeah.
shows that some knucklehead,
Mm-hmm.
possibly at
Mhm.
Volkswagen, didn't do the right thing, and that's
Yeah.
the big problem here.
No question. Yeah.
And now the family is suing Volkswagen as well. They should.
Yeah.
And they're not mentioning. They don't care how much they get. This is a ridiculous story.
It's really an amazing story as well. It is just something where you just know that there's something just off about everything. The common sense, Steve, was not even there.
No.
On behalf of an organization that's going to take a hit on this. It's going to absolutely take a hit. In that regard. And it's like, you can't be customer service friendly. Let's just say we always strive to do that in business, to be customer service oriented and customer service friendly. Well, this was a situation where they needed you and you were more concerned about a $150 fee than you were about understanding what the hell was going on. That says an awful lot about your customer service department, and it needs to change. It needs to change drastically in order to improve that. I mean, that's just unbelievable. Let's just say, like, if I was driving a Volkswagen, I've had second thoughts, to be perfectly honest. I mean, in that regard, especially if I have like a young son, a young daughter, in that situation, it's like,
they don't care about your kids.
They don't care about your kids. No. And it's like, okay, I'm having a second thought about getting my car through that organization. They've got something to change there for sure. It's just from a cultural perspective. That's for darn sure.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
It is coming from the company that invented the Beatles. So
That wasn't all that bad, but at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, it lost its cachet a long time ago. Maybe back in the 1970s. I don't know.
I would say the 60s, but that's...
Steve, stop pounding your head against the wall. It's not going to work.
Sorry.
Don't. Your DDP yoga is much better at burning calories. Let me tell you. Don't do that. Don't.
I would agree, but when you hear about Volkswagen, you just want to
nothing much more than to pound your head against the wall. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, somebody ought to be fired.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to topic 2 and some more people who should be fired.
Yeah.
We're going to eviscerate Charissa Thompson now, who we will now refer to as ChatGPT Thompson, because
there you go.
Basically the same thing.
Exactly.
So if you haven't heard this story, this was making the rounds a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Charissa Thompson former sideline reporter on NFL, but now she is, what is she now? She is
I think she's NFL Network host or something like that.
Prime. She is a host for Prime Video's Thursday Night Football.
Oh, okay.
So she has a high up position. Well, she was on a podcast a little while ago. Had this to say, direct quote. I've said this before. I haven't been fired to saying it, but I'll say it again. I would make up the report sometimes because A, the coach wouldn't come out at halftime, or it was too late and I didn't want to screw up the report. So I was like, I'm just going to make this up. Because first of all, no coach is going to get mad if I say, hey, we need to stop hurting ourselves. We need to be better on third down. We need to stop turning the ball over and do a better job of getting off the field. They're not going to correct me on that. So I'm like, it's fine. I'll just make up the report.
Ooh. I love it. I love it. I love it, Steve.
So,
oh my
gosh. And we'll use that term loosely now with respect to her. Journalist. Making up the news and admitting to it.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Mr. Craig?
Not a surprise, to be perfectly honest, Steve. This is something I've long suspected, as you know. I'm not a big fan of the media. They're the first ones to run to the First Amendment every single time. Whenever something goes wrong. Oh, I've got freedom of the press. I've got freedom of the press. You can't touch me. Well, okay, you're making shit up on the sidelines. Well, I'm freedom of the press. They're like cockroaches. It's just unbelievable. Every time you shine the light of truth, they just run away. They just run away and hide, and all that kind of good stuff. But, this to me was kind of made me think a little bit more and more about the sideline reporter. Mm-hmm. And it was really to an effect of, do we really need to have sideline reporters at a football game, in the dugout, on the benches in hockey, on the court in basketball? Like, I don't see the appeal anymore of having someone with a microphone go up to a coach at halftime of a crucial game and say, well, what do you got to do for the second half? Or what do you got to do in between periods? And I remember I was thinking about with Rich Eisen on his podcast just a couple of days ago was lambasting Charissa Thompson for exactly what she said. Thompson later apologized, kind of. And Rich was kind of saying, like, look, this is very important. The sideline reporter is so important. You got to know what's going on. I'm thinking to myself, no, you don't. I don't want to know. What do I care? Like, honestly, I'm just throwing this out there, really, Steve, to kind of get your thoughts. But I'm not in favor of it. I just don't see the appeal to it unless they're trying to maybe place, people are placing a bet in the bar and say, like, look at what they got to do. They got to run the ball more. And this hot chick comes on. I talked to the coach in the second half, and they're going to run the ball more. See, I told you. You this hot girl.
we're talking betting in a few minutes when we get to the other NFL story.
Yeah.
I do think the interviewing the coach as he's running into the tunnel or running out of the tunnel at halftime, I think that's kind of cheesy and dumb.
Yeah.
I could see the benefit of sideline reporting when, you see somebody get hurt. They go and find out what's going on. Is he going to be able to come back? Is he done for the day? It's nice to have that kind of information.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a useful thing.
Yeah.
But what she's done here, is she is the Volkswagen of sideline reporting.
She is.
Look, you've just messed this up for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
For your profession.
For your profession. You've and it's she, I mean, you said she apologized. She apologized. She tried to explain it as though she wasn't attributing a quote to a coach, but you read what I just read, this quote that she had on the podcast.
Yeah.
It sure does sound like she was trying to quote a coach.
No question.
So she may have been trying to walk it back and say, oh, it was misinterpreted. This quote sounds like you saying they're not going to get mad at me if I say they said this.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've just set fire to your own profession.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's going to trust sideline reporters. And it's sad because there are a lot of good ones out there.
Oh, yeah.
And what's worse is, this is a profession that it is very difficult for women to break into.
Mm-hmm.
She has just screwed women.
Kind of thrown them right onto the bus, hasn't
Absolutely.
she? Yeah.
This sets women back, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not women's fault. It's Charissa Thompson
Yeah.
because she can't do her job. This was, if you can't get the coach to give you a quote on his way out of the thing, okay, do your job then. Be a journalist.
Yeah.
Investigate.
Yeah.
Find out if that guy who went into the locker room before halftime has come back out. Observe.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody else. I'm sure there's somebody else you could talk to.
Yeah.
The backup tight end. Hey, what was said at halftime?
Teams have PR directors. Teams have PR people,
Do something. Don't just be lazy. Be like, coach,
I'll just make this up on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, really? Yeah. I think there is a purpose to sideline reporting. I just think it's just my main issue with them really is just the repetitive nature of it. It's the similar questions that you hear all the time. Well, what are you going to do at the end of the second half? What are you going to do at the end of the first half? You're going into the second. What kind of adjustments are you going to make? And I'm thinking like, well, most hardcore fans kind of know what they're going to do. That kind of a deal.
Or not, in case of people like Jonathan Cannon.
Whoever that guy is, I don't even know. But
he's been wiped from the database.
He's been wiped. Yeah, exactly. But no, it's just I just wonder about it now, and I think I wonder about it more because of what Charissa had said. It's like, I guess I'm kind of in a way saying, hey, if you think that if you can't get that information and you're making it up on the fly, thank you very much. You just pretty much proved my point about the media in and of itself, and that's sad. That's really sad. It's like, you're trying to get information. If you want that information, and it's like, it makes me wonder about Aaron Andrews, makes me wonder about anybody else that does the sideline reporting. Are they going to just make it up now on the fly? And to your point, Steve, this is going to hurt them. It's going to hurt them for a while.
Absolutely.
In that regard. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned Aaron Andrews because we've got this is an awful announcing article.
Yeah.
We were relying on for this one. Aaron Andrews and Charissa Thompson had apparently been taking liberties with some of their sideline reports they admitted a couple years ago.
Yep.
But the extent of that was apparently paraphrasing or embellishing what the coaches tell you. So you actually did your job.
Yeah.
You got a quote. Now you're just building off of that. That's a little different than just making it up.
Up on the
Coach
fly.
Belichick told me he's going to put on a tutu and dance at halftime for the guys, and that's going to wake them up. No, do your job.
Yeah,
just do your job. Stop being lazy.
Yeah,
this is terrible.
Yeah, it really is.
It's terrible.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, so now you got a twofer this week on topic 2. So we've also got the Thursday night game last week was the Cincinnati Bengals against the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
And Cincinnati Bengal quarterback Joe Burrow ended up hurting his wrist in the second quarter. He threw a touchdown pass, but appeared to grab his wrist and was in pain, tried to work through it on the sideline, but did not return.
Ooh.
I think it said the play before the touchdown pass, he had been hit by Jadeveon Clowney, who is no stranger to being a jackass and injuring quarterbacks.
Yeah. Ask Carson Wentz, ask everybody else in the league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't see the play, so I don't know if it was dirty or not, but Clowney, yes, probably was. But so apparently, though, on the here we go, Amazon Prime Video broadcast. It's all Thursday Night Football related. It's
there you go.
Bad idea, NFL. Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, exactly.
The broadcast brought up that they had a video of Burrow getting off the team bus with what looked like a wrap or some kind of brace on his hand, and this was well before the play had happened.
Yeah.
And so the question arose, was Joe Burrow's hand injured before the game started? And now the NFL is seeking to investigate because Joe Burrow did not appear on the injury report.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't care, but this was coming from a Yahoo Sports article. The NFL wants an accurate injury report, and injury report shenanigans have become an even bigger focus with the growth of legal sports betting.
Wow. That is a mouthful and a half, isn't it, Steve, to be
I would
perfectly
say
honest?
so.
Yeah. And when money is on the line, oh my, right? I mean, that is a George Cote, oh my, that kind of a deal. But yeah, I mean, that certainly calls into question the integrity of the game, does it not? I mean, at the end of the day, if it's something where, you're hiding a significant injury and they have a photograph, because I did see and it looked like it was some sort of a glove brace type of thing. And Eisen's like, oh, he's probably, he's got this iPad. He's able to draw and he's doodling on his iPad. And I'm thinking to myself, what could he possibly be doing on, first of all, they don't have iPads. They have Microsoft Surface tablets. It's like, so what are we doing here? What's going on? It's like, if there are so many questions with this, I do not understand that. But
well, this is just another
sports gambling.
I raised this as another example of we're letting sports gambling influence policy at the league, and I don't think that's right. No, it's not. I mean, there are strategic reasons why you would not want people like Jadeveon Clowney to know that your quarterback's hand is injured.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we all know what happens. Guys target injuries. It's part of the game, unfortunately.
Absolutely. Yes.
It shouldn't be, but it is. And so as I learned this week, because Jalen Hurts has also had something going on with his knee.
Yeah.
But he has not popped up on the injury reports.
Nope.
Apparently, the rule is if you take every snap in practice, you don't have to end up on the injury report. There's in the NFL, there is questionable, doubtful, and out.
Yeah.
And if you are a full participant in practice, you do not have to show up on the injury report. Although the Yahoo Sports article does say the NFL takes a different position where even if it doesn't cost a player practice time, it may still be reportable because of the effect on the player performance despite his continuing availability to the club. And that sounds like sports betting kind of ruling the roost, if you ask me.
Yeah, you think? Yeah.
I understand you've got money on the game. It may impact you if you know Joe Burrow has an injury. But for God's sake, you are voluntarily putting money on the game.
Yeah.
Okay. These guys actually have to go out and play the game.
Yeah.
And if they need to conceal things for competitive advantage, then by all means, I think they should be able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, they should get rid of the Thursday night games. Just saying. I mean, if you're Cincinnati, your season's done. I don't care who you are at this point. You've now played 2 games in the span of 5 days. You lost both of them. You're 5
and quarterback.
And your quarterback. And now it's like, okay, so if you're a Bengals fan, what are you looking at, right? I mean, you're looking at a season that unless you drastically change the offense, which I really hope they do because I have Joe Mixon in fantasy. If they drastically change the offense and change their, who knows, their defense has to step up, all that kind of stuff. But he's out for the season. Like he's not coming back for the playoffs. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've never been a big fan of the Thursday night games. I understand Thanksgiving's coming up and I get that. And they're going to be 3 games, but that's lost its cachet. And to be perfectly honest, Dallas and Detroit really should not have had a, monopoly on having those games to begin with. If the NFL's smart, they would rotate Thanksgiving throughout the entire country. And it would just do it like, the triple header throughout, so that everybody has a chance to do it. That kind of a deal. But I really want to get rid of the Thursday night games for this reason as well. For players that are getting hurt, they're playing 2 back-to-back NFL games in a span of 5 days. That is a lot on a physical body. And then the turnaround is you have a week and a half off. That's not exactly a lot of fun.
No, and
to
the
me.
Thursday games have been notoriously poorly played.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for poor Al Michaels, who's
Yeah.
in the booth and had to call Carolina, Chicago.
I know. He's had some bad ones
come
too.
on.
Yeah.
Who scheduled that crap?
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Every team has to have a Thursday night game on its schedule. And just so you know, Steve, after Thanksgiving, you got Seattle, Dallas, so that'll be pretty good. Then you got the Patriots and the Steelers after that, following with Las Vegas and Los Angeles Chargers, Rams and the Saints, and they finish up with the Jets in Cleveland. So it gets a little better, but the early part of those games, oh my gosh, that schedule was awful.
The lack of preparation time
Yes.
for these games absolutely shows.
Big time.
And
Yeah.
I think you're right. But, for injury reports and ChatGPT Thompson, just go away.
Yeah.
Go away.
Swing and a miss.
Matt, coming in here with a sideline report. I talked to Jerry Jones, who said his fans have to stop being douches in the second half in order for Dak Prescott to not step out of bounds on a 2-point conversion. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Steve. And we're back at the start of the third quarter. Actually, start of the third quarter of Two Noobs. How about that? What is the already in the second half of the episode? Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Flying through this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which reminds me, if you'd like to fly with Two Noobs, make sure you download us with your favorite audio podcasting software. You can find that at our website, twonoobstalking.wordpress.com.
Love it.
Lists a bunch of them there. You also can get our RSS feed, so you can feed it to your favorite podcatcher. So
There
check
you
us
go.
out. And also, if you're on YouTube watching us now, it's at Two Noobs Talking. That is our handle.
Yeah.
If you are on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, you already know the handle. If you're not on YouTube, then you need the handle, which is at Two Noobs Talking.
There you go.
TOONOO.
Noobs Talking.
Bzz,
There you go.
Talking.
Love it.
I'm smart. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Third topic here. End of an era.
Yeah.
I guess I should have worn my McGuire jersey. For this
Yeah.
episode.
That's a relic now.
Yeah, it is. The Oakland A's have officially been approved for relocation to
Las Vegas. Oh my.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
When they got the Vegas Golden Knights, it was cute for a year.
Yeah.
They had that spectacle on ice.
Yeah.
And then they became tools and won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Now the
took
fastest
Raptors.
expansion franchise to ever win a Stanley Cup, which makes them even more hateable. So there you go. I mean,
Well, yeah, 'cause
luckily
they took
for
the
us
title from us,
today,
right?
luckily for us today, at the time of this recording, Flyers beat them. I love it. I love it. That was the best part.
Absolutely. Go
Love
Cougs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the A's are moving to, and I think the impetus for the move was probably stadium related. I'm not exactly sure. Do you have more details on that?
Yeah, it pretty much was a combination, really, of the owner basically just bottoming out the entire payroll. I think they're last, and it's not even close. The amount of payroll that they have spent on their players. There's nobody on their starting lineup, nobody within their starting rotation that strikes fear in anybody really in the major leagues. And I think they were the worst team in the league not by leaps and bounds, because I think the Royals.
Well, check the standings back there.
I'm checking the standings, and both the Royals and the A's were in last place. How about that? But it doesn't give the number of losses. I'm going to try and look that up actually right now. But
part of the issue was lack of a stadium beyond 2024, right?
Yeah. The A's were 50 and 112.
Oof.
50 and 112.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. Yeah. So I remember, I think it was in the early spring, there was a reverse boycott in Oakland where the fans actually came out to the stadium and cheered them on.
Good for them.
for one game. And then it dwindled and died.
Well,
And it was because that stadium is basically a crap hole now. There's nothing going on. There's rats everywhere, flooding in the dugouts when it rains. I mean, it's awful, Steve, in that regard. But for them to go to Vegas, somebody leaves Oakland for Vegas. I not a big fan of relocation. Not a big fan of it. No.
Unanimous vote from the owners, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's.
I mean, what are you going to do? Yeah.
True. But, I mean, doesn't this smack a little bit to you of what's her face from Major League?
Yeah.
I mean, was the owner of the A's intentionally doing this to hightail it out of town? Yeah. I realize Oakland isn't the most attractive place to be.
No.
But to me, neither is Las Vegas for different reasons. But still,
yeah.
I mean, was this intentional? Do you think at all?
Boy, that's a really good question. I think there was probably initially there was maybe intent for the club to stay. They did have success early on, 2000s, 2010s. They had a couple of teams that didn't make the playoffs, didn't go far. I think there was one year where they faced Detroit in the ALCS. When the Tigers went to the World Series, lost to the Cardinals, I think it was, or something like that. I'll check that in post. But that being said, they haven't been in contender really since when you and I were like in our teenage years, when you had the Bash Brothers, right? When you had McGuire and Sosa and Ricky Henderson and Dennis Eckersley and Dave Stewart. And it was like that team was dynamic. And it's like they had players galore out, they could manufacture runs, hit the ball at the ballpark, the whole bit.
God. Dave Stewart, that dude could kill a bird from a mile away with his stare.
Oh yeah. Crap. Yeah, man. No doubt about it. Yeah. Power pitcher. Yeah. Extraordinaire out there. I think he was a former Philly, I think.
I don't think he was ever with us.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But in any event, whether or not it was intentional, I think it was at the end of the day when they couldn't secure a new stadium. I mean, everything I've read, they wanted $1 billion stadium, and it was like Oakland's already cash poor. I mean, it's not exactly the healthiest city in the union,
right?
That's for sure. Not a whole heck of a lot of business, and now all of a sudden everybody has left. Football team left, and that had a lot of history back in the AFL days for sure.
Well, yeah, but that team had also gone to LA for a while.
Yeah, it sure did.
Come back.
Yep.
I get a little bit of the history, but that team was already kind of flaky as far as movement was concerned. Mm-hmm. So when they moved to Las Vegas, to me, that was kind of a shrug.
Yeah.
But the A's moving, I mean, you're talking about the 80s teams, which were good. They won a World Series in 89?
88. Or no, 89.
89. The earthquake year, right?
Yeah, the earthquake year. Mm-hmm.
So they won a World Series, and they won 3 back in the 70s. They had Reggie Jackson, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're even the subject of that stupid Moneyball movie from 2001 where they got famous for being cheap.
Yeah.
This is, and maybe this is just the sentimental Philadelphian because they left Philadelphia via Kansas City to go to Oakland, but they've been in Oakland forever.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see them go because of that history.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even sadder that they're going to Vegas. It's just,
the Las Vegas Athletics doesn't exactly roll off the tongue well.
No.
In that regard, yeah. But the Oakland A's.
Where are they going to play?
Apparently in a AAA stadium. They have 1 year left in 2024. They will play in Oakland. And then 2025, they're going to be playing in a AAA stadium for 3 years until the new stadium gets built along the Strip in Vegas. So it's like, I think it's right off the Strip, 1 block to the east or something like that, or to the west. I can't remember where, but I think it's right down the road from Allegiant.
I mean, what kind of poverty franchise is this?
I don't know.
That they're going to be playing in a lame duck city.
Yeah.
For another year.
I mean, what do you do if you're in Oakland?
Yeah, right?
Right? I mean, do you go to the games? Do you not go to the games?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would do if that was me.
Yeah.
I'm torn. Part of me would be like, well, you got to see him before they skip town. But part of me is like, why am I going to give this douchebag any more of my money now that he's rolling up on out of here? And he's going to play in my city for one more year before he does it because they can't move it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what my decision would be in
Yeah.
that circumstance. But it's a shitty position to be in as a fan.
No doubt. Yeah.
This article, which I have from the New York Post, the A's league low average attendance last season was 10,275.
And that's a complete bullshit because a lot of it was like, I think
It's
one
the-
half of that. I
It's
mean,
the
it was,
tickets. It's the paid tickets.
it's the
Not
paid
ones that
tickets.
show up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the people that show up. That's like the turnstiles. You're looking at, I think the Phillies did play in Oakland this past season. There was hardly anybody there. I mean, that was the thing. It was just hardly anybody was in that building. And yeah, it wasn't until that reverse boycott that they decided to go in. I was like, okay, we'll give it. And then it just petered out and died. And it was just like, and I think, this owner has completely alienated his fan base. And so then it's kind of what we were saying too, Steve, like when you're going into 2024, do you go or do you not? And I think if you're an Oakland A fan, okay, well, I'm not going. To me, I think it would be easy to be like, I'm not going to any of these games. The hell with them. In that regard. So
I probably would fall on that side. I don't know. And I hope to never have to be in that position.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, I don't think we would.
Yeah.
It's very sad. But
can you even imagine if it was here in Philadelphia? Any one of any franchise.
Oh, we would burn the stadium down.
100%. Yeah.
We would totally. And so now, they're gonna play a lame duck season in Oakland, and then they're gonna move to a AAA stadium for 3 years. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you thought the Arizona Coyotes sharing the college stadium was bad. I think this is worse.
Yeah.
To me, honestly, this is just pathetic.
Because then you're talking maybe a good AAA stadium has just under 10,000. Anywhere between 7 and 10,000, but you're playing in Las Vegas in the summer. Let's just say it's not going to be exactly cool and calm out there. It's going to be pretty hot. Yeah, this will work.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even consider that. I mean, the temperature is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's routinely 120 degrees there in the summertime.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And when you see the temperature on the field, oof.
Oh, I know. God. I know. They're going to have to play all their games at night. There's no way they're playing a Monday, like a 1:00 game. Are you kidding me? There's no way that's happening.
Well, to me, there's only one thing the A's can do. They're going to have to win the whole fucking thing this season.
Exactly.
As long as if it's not the Phillies, then the A's. Yes.
There you go.
Give Oakland something good on the way out. Those people got shafted. We are going to relocate Mr. John Tracy
back to San Marcos.
No.
Oh,
we're going to send him to Las Vegas. Who votes yet?
He's been there before.
I know. All right, so it's unanimous.
I guess so. Yeah, might as well.
If you didn't want to go,
John, you're going to Vegas. Congratulations.
If you didn't want to go there, you should have been here.
It's not expenses paid. Unfortunately, you're going to have to go there all by yourself on your own. That kind of deal. Give us a scouting report there, bud.
In your Volkswagen.
In your Volkswagen.
We're going to give him a VW bus. That's how much we.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I can ever think of when I see a VW bus is the Libyans.
With Doc with a great line. I traded them for traded them, what was it, the bomb for used pinball machine parts or something?
Yep.
Love Doc.
Just so he can get his plutonium.
Hey.
I'm sure in 1985 it's available in every corner drugstore, but in 1955 it's a little hard to come by.
I'm sorry, Marty, but you're just going to have to be stuck here. Doc, I've got a girlfriend back in 1985. Look at her. Oh, man. Yeah, but hopefully, Johnny, safe travels, bud.
Yep.
Looking forward to having you back next week there, buddy.
Come back to us.
Hell
Come
yeah.
back to us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we are thankful for Mr. Tracy, that's for sure, because without him, none of this would have been possible. You wouldn't have to listen to us drone on and on about our next topic, topic 4.
Oh, boy.
We're going to call this or that.
Ah.
It's really a brand battle. So the genesis of this is, I saw an article earlier in the week that said Pepsi is actually going to be overtaking Coca-Cola in, I guess, earnings. What was
I think it was market share or something like that. Yeah.
Market share. Now, you have to remember that it's not just the two colas, right? PepsiCo has
all kinds
oodles of brands,
yeah,
just soda. I mean, part of this, what we're going to get into here, Lay's potato chips, they own them.
Mm-hmm.
They own all kinds of crap, and I think that's what's actually pushing them over the market share of Coca-Cola. But
yeah,
it's just funny to because I never would have thought Coca-Cola would have been overtaken by Pepsi in market share.
Yeah.
That's a quote.
I mean, they have like a terrific brand recognition, as you know.
Oh, I know.
With your patent lawyer. By the way, we'll plug Steve's IP, Dr. IP channel. Why not? Throw that up in the upper right-hand corner. Check out his latest episode.
Absolutely.
Right there.
You can check me out talking to myself. It's good. and this week's episode, I was a Force Ghost.
Yes, exactly. Even though number 2 was trying to hit you, it was hilarious.
Well, it was.
Stop doing that.
It went right through me. So this article got me thinking about Pepsi versus Coke, because it always amuses me when you go to a restaurant or what have you, and you order one and they don't have it, they have the other one, and they ask, "Well, is it okay?" And just for fun,
like,
one of these days, I'm going to flip the table over and freak out and be like, "No, this is not okay. No."
And then say, actually, it is okay. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine. The reality is, I drink either one of them. I really don't care.
Yeah.
But it got me thinking. So we have Pepsi versus Coke. We're gonna see which one do you actually prefer. We're also gonna hit a bunch of other different brands that are at war with each other.
There you go.
So which one would you actually go for if you were presented a choice?
What team are you on?
What team are you on?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Matt. I need to ask you that question. What team are you on?
I'm on team Too Noobs.
Okay, good.
There you go.
All right, why don't we kick this off? We'll start off Pepsi versus Coke, but we're gonna do 2 things. We're gonna do it as just the colas.
Okay.
So just Pepsi Cola or Coca-Cola.
Okay.
And then we will branch out overall, like the Pepsi array of beverages versus the Coke array of beverages. Which do you prefer in general?
Interesting.
All right, so we'll start with the colas. Pepsi or Coke?
Well, for me, I have always been a Coke guy over Pepsi.
There's my whole snob like you would say that.
Of course, yeah. I own 2 Coke glasses just to rub it in, and I'm a nerd. But no, it's I'm a Coke guy. Don't turn down Pepsi, but prefer Coke as my number 1 go-to beverage if I'm in a pizzeria. Do you have Coke? No? Okay, I'll take a Pepsi. Then that's my answer. So I'm on Team Coke.
Gotcha.
There you go.
I am the same way in that I will drink either one. It doesn't bother me. I like them both.
Yep.
I prefer Pepsi slightly more.
Okay.
The Coke has, I don't want to say bitter. Pepsi, I think, is a little bit sweeter or maybe more citrusy. I don't know what it is about Pepsi. It's just, it's the flavor to me is a little bit less harsh than Coke.
Yeah.
So I would prefer Pepsi, but I will drink Coke. It doesn't bother me either.
For me, I think the Coke has a little bit more syrupy sweetness to it. I don't know why.
If you like syrup, you ought to drink Coke in Europe.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you held the can upside down, the viscosity is
wow. Look at this science experiment, right?
Yeah, my God, it's the Coke thick over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's broaden it out now. So the Pepsi array of soda beverages or the Coke, and I will read you some of the each.
Go for it.
So Pepsi is also responsible for Mug Root Beer,
Oh,
Mountain Dew,
uh,
and Starry, which is their lemon lime
okay.
soda.
Okay.
I thought they were 7 Up, but apparently that is incorrect.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Coke, on the other hand,
Mhm.
gives you Sprite,
Okay.
Fanta orange soda,
Okay.
and Barks Root Beer.
Wow. So it
So
all comes down to the root beer for me.
interesting. All right, so which one are you going for then?
I would probably go on the mug side.
Oh,
So I would be
interesting.
more on the Pepsi side of things when it comes to their variety of sodas as opposed to the Coke side.
Interesting.
I think mug has a little bit more frothiness to it. I think it just has more of a better root beer taste than Barks does. Barks kind of just comes and goes, and there's not much froth. There's not much visually speaking. It's like, oh wow, this is really, I love this root beer. But mug,
Barks is more of a birchy
yes,
beer than a root.
and a root beer. Yeah,
It is. Does seem like it's more in the birch beer family side.
and I would argue if you're having a root beer float, you have it with mug because
I
that
agree.
that just works. I think if you're just
Agree.
gonna have it like that, yeah.
I'm gonna have to differ from you again. I think I'm gonna go the Coca-Cola family
Really? Wow.
because Sprite,
Yeah.
to me is the best lemon lime soda.
But you've
Available.
always loved Sprite. I know.
Yeah,
knowing
Sprite's
you.
good,
Yeah.
and I do love Barks root beer as well.
Yeah.
I can understand your argument, Mug over Barks, but I
Yeah.
think the fact that Coke has not only the Barks but the Sprite
Yeah.
would, I think, push me more to Coca-Cola in general. Whereas, even though I prefer the Pepsi Cola
Yeah.
more.
Fascinating. So we were both like this. That's fascinating.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Yeah.
All right, so moving on, we are still Pepsi is still involved here because they own Lay's. And so here we're going the brand battle of the potato chips, Lay's versus Hers.
I know exactly where I'm going with this one.
Where are you going with this?
Hers all day, every day.
Interesting.
I think they're the better tasting chip, particularly with the barbecue. If you have a barbecue Hers chips, oh my gosh, they're the best. They're the absolute best. Just a good, consistent flavor within the barbecue chips. And really, the Hers chips, their plain chips are fantastic. I can't go wrong with either one. It's like, I can't go wrong with that. I'm Hers all the way. If I'm between the two, it's Hers all the way for me.
So we're going to differ again.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay.
The Hers ruffled chips, I do like. The Hers plain chips, I cannot eat them unless I have like a dip or something.
No kidding.
I don't know what it is. but
Okay.
Lay's plain regular chips, I can eat straight out of the bag, no problem.
No problem.
And Lay's also has a variety of kettle cooked chips,
And they're very good too.
which I love. I actually prefer kettle cooked to kind of regular ones.
Really?
Yeah, I like it. I like it nice and hard and crunchy.
Okay.
The other potato chips are just, they break too easy. And
So let me ask you this then. Have you ever had the Hers barbecue?
I don't eat the barbecue chips.
Really? Wow. I would have never guessed that. Wow.
Barbecue flavor fan.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I just, for me, that is the best tasting barbecue chips. Hers. It's just hands down to me. It's like everybody else could try, but this is just like, wow.
yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Hers not a Philadelphia-based company?
It is a Philadelphia.
So I feel bad.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
I'm more Philadelphian than you. We'll blur that out on.
Do you have that feature in your?
No, I
video
don't
editing?
have that feature. Yeah, I don't
I'm sure
figure
you
that
do. You
out.
just haven't found it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Philadelphia brands, we got another battle here. We're gonna go. This is a fatal three-way matchup.
Okay.
Tasty Cakes, Drake's,
Okay.
and Hostess.
Ooh. Wow.
So Tasty Cakes, you've got your butterscotch crimpets. You got cupcakes filled with cream.
You got your chocolate
Deliciousness.
cake. You got your
You got
coffee.
the junior.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, Drake's, you got no slouch. They got the ring dings, devil
Nope.
dogs,
Coffee cake.
yodels, coffee cakes. And then you go Hostess, you got I believe Hostess is the Twinkie.
Yeah.
And they have ding dongs.
Okay.
And what do they call their well, that's good enough. All right, so which one are you going with here?
So I'm eliminating the last one we talked about,
Hostess.
which the Hostess.
Okay.
So it comes down to Drake's and Tasty Cake, and in a very narrow vote, I'm leaning Tasty Cake. I think Tasty Cake has the better product variety. I will not turn down a Drake's coffee cake, though. I'm like Newman. They're my kryptonite, right?
Oh, yeah.
Love them. But I love me some butterscotch crimpets. I love me some donuts. I love me the junior chocolate cake.
Oh, yes.
Are you kidding me? Right? They're
Oh,
my
yes.
all-time favorite. So it's like, I love them. And the candy cakes, too. You can't go wrong with the candy
Oh,
cake
yeah, the
either.
candy cakes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about them. Those
Yeah.
I like to take off the shell and then eat the cake inside.
Heck
It's
yeah.
fun.
Heck yeah. Now, the problem, though, with them is
Mhm.
back in the day, it would be an even, you would have the icing going across that cake. Now what they do is they have the stripe of it going across. And some, it's like it just goes through that conveyor belt. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
attention to detail is a little bit off, but
Clean that up,
it's
Tasty Cake.
yeah, just a little bit. That's probably a good project management project that I can take
Yeah.
on maybe.
There you go.
Just hire me.
There you go.
Just hire me, Tasty
Sorry,
Cakes. I'll take it.
because we
Yeah.
know where you live, Tasty Cake.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. You're right around the corner from me, so you never
Yeah,
know.
I will agree with you.
There you go.
Again, narrowly, because
Mhm.
Drake's makes
Yeah.
well, they apparently they're not going to keep doing it because not enough people buy it. But not only do they have devil dogs, but the fudge dipped devil dog.
Oh, that's right. You love
Is-
those things.
Those
Yeah.
are fantastic.
Yeah.
So Drake's, I could eat Drake's all day long, but the chocolate junior,
Yeah.
and I forgot the candy cakes, and the
Yeah.
butterscotch crimpets. Those
Yeah.
are just into the next level.
Absolutely.
So Tasty
Yeah.
Cake gets the vote.
I gotta find me those fudge dipped devil dogs that you keep talking about, the Drake's ones. I really do. I've never had them before, so I would love to. Be
If
able
you
to-
can find them, they're definitely worth buying the box.
and you freeze them in the freezer, right? Or do you?
Oh, that's the best part. You freeze them in the freezer.
Mm.
It's like eating a Reese's cup frozen. It's fantastic.
Gosh,
It's amazing.
that's fantastic. That's just.
And
sounds so good.
I generally find any kind of pastry, if it's not warm,
yeah,
don't eat it room temperature. Eat
Yeah.
it cold,
eat it cold.
because
Yeah, I
cold is
agree.
better.
Yeah.
I would even like when I actually used to go to the office and I would take Tasty Cakes or whatever for lunch. I would put it in the refrigerator
Heck yeah.
and leave it in all day.
Leave it in, and
eat
then
that
you
when
take
it's
it
cold.
out. And, yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right, now we're going to commit some sacrilege. As pizza connoisseurish as we are,
Oh, yeah.
because we do like us some good pizza and quality pizzerias. Every once in a while, it's just a guilty pleasure to have one of these two:
Yeah.
a Pizza Hut or a Domino's.
Yeah.
Not so much Domino's in the past, but Domino's recently
Now have been
their
better.
game. They have seriously upped their game in the last few years.
Yep.
So they are up
Mhm.
and coming. So the question is, Mr. Craig, Pizza Hut or Domino's? Which would you settle for as your guilty pleasure there?
You're right on the money when it comes to Domino's, because I can remember back in the late 80s, early 90s, they were horrible.
It was cardboard.
Yeah, it was
was
awful
terrible.
what they were doing. Yeah, but then I remember we had Domino's together. I think you had me over at your place, and I think it was with the fantasy football, and you ordered Domino's, and we had it, and I was like, whoa, this is much different and much better.
The garlic crust and all that stuff. Yeah, it's good.
100%. Yeah, terrific. That being said, though, Pizza Hut. Now, I will say this, though. Pizza Hut, though, to me, you have to get it right, because I've had pizzas from Pizza Hut where I could taste the salt on the bottom of the dough. And it just is like, it's like you just need like a gallon of water to wash that out. But I will say, like, I've gotten the stuffed crust pizzas. not a problem with that. I'll eat that any day of the week.
The breadsticks to me
Yeah.
are phenomenal.
Yeah. And you don't see a sit-down Pizza Hut anymore, but when you do,
I have, and I've been in them.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you will come across one.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed the buffet. The all you can eat. Oh God, that was good.
We have one that was in Flowertown, not far from the house, actually, where I grew up in the Orland area, and that was a special event. Whenever we would go there, and it was a sit-down pizzeria. And you're just there, and they bring it right out to you on the tray, and you're just scooping it out. And then, of course, like you had Pac-Man in the back, or Tecmo Bowl, either one of the two that was playing, and you're just feeding the quarter. Oh, I gotta play this.
And the red cups.
Yeah,
the red cups. The red cups were amazing.
Yeah.
So Pizza Hut wins. Although Domino's, you do get a thumbs up. You have improved your game. I will say.
Absolutely.
And Parmesan bread bites, by the way.
There you go. Yeah.
Very good.
Nice.
But you can't top Pizza Hut. Now that being said, of course, we would prefer real pizza, but every once in a while, you have to.
Yeah, it's just gotta go with the old. Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go nostalgia, because I don't quite eat cereals as much anymore.
Oh, I'm the same way. Yeah.
We right before we did this topic, because I had forgotten to look up the brands, we're doing Kellogg's versus General Mills on the cereals.
Yeah.
And boy, is this going to be tough.
This is going to be hard. Yeah.
Because I'll read you some of the Kellogg's brands right here of cereal. You got Apple Jacks, Rice Krispies, Fruit Loops, Frosted Mini Wheats, Frosted Flakes, and Raisin Bran.
Oh, man.
When I do eat cereal anymore, Frosted Mini Wheats is one of my go-to things, because it's got certain.
I have a box of it here in the house right now.
There you
so
go.
It's like I'm loving it right now. So I have a gallon of milk. It's like I gotta get through it. What do? Go get some Frosted Mini Wheats, right?
There you go. I get the chocolate ones. The chocolate ones are phenomenal.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. General Mills though has Cheerios, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Kix, Lucky Charms, Cocoa Puffs, Trix, Wheaties, and Cookie Crisp to its name.
Corn Pops is with Kellogg's, right?
Oh, poop.
I think it is. Because I did not hear.
Corn Pops is Kellogg's, correct?
It is Kellogg's.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
That's right. I missed that when we were reading them off.
Yeah. Yeah, this is hard.
Yeah, so
this is really hard. Because I love me some Frosted Mini Wheats and Raisin Bran. But I love Corn Pops, man. Corn Pops to me.
Corn Pops are good. Corn Pops are good.
And I think that puts it just over.
Ooh, okay.
And I mean just over, because it's like, and Fruit Loops too. Fruit Loops is very underrated cereal. That's also really, really good. Just looking at it now, it's like, I can remember getting that. But the Corn Pops, dude, that is a guilty pleasure. You get me a box of Corn Pops, I will eat it for the entire night.
The only problem with the Corn Pops is you got to get through the box quickly.
Yes.
Because if it sits open for more than a couple days,
it's dead.
They start to get hard.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Fresh box of Corn Pops, I agree with you.
Oh, there's nothing like it with a fresh box. That's like the best cereal.
Now,
but you're right. You open it and it leaves it open. It's like, oh my gosh, where did the freshness go? It's dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, what happened?
Yeah. Now, so Kellogg's, I agree, the Frosted Mini Wheats.
Yeah.
Apple Jacks is another one that I was a big fan of.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have to go General Mills, though.
Oh, okay.
For two reasons.
Yeah.
One, I love Trix when I was a kid.
Yeah.
When they were still in ball form. When they went to the fruit shapes, I was less impressed. But the ball form of the Trix were great.
Yeah.
They also make probably my favorite cereal of all time, which is French Toast Crunch.
Oh my gosh.
They brought that back due to popular demand a couple of years ago, and I got a couple boxes of it because I just love that stuff. Oh my god.
Just dump this right into my shopping cart now.
Just dump it in my mouth. Bags at a time. So with that, I will take on General Mills.
There you go. Wow.
I'm gonna save this next one for last, actually, just because I think it's dessert, so this will be good.
Oh, there you go.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that's
we're
a
going to
good
move
idea.
on. This one I have to rely completely on you for.
Yeah.
This is Wawa versus Sheets.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going straight to you is because you've actually had Sheets. I have never had Sheets before. This was John's suggestion.
Yeah.
And I can't begin to tell you what is at a Sheets and whether it's good or not. You have had both.
I've had
so
both.
You get an exclusive decision here.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's hard because it's like Wawa, you go in and you basically order, go out, and you're in your car. The only difference is Sheets has tables. You can sit down at a Sheets and just have your lunch like right there. That's really the only difference, and they're probably more, I would say, where Wawa is on the, like every gas station, Wawa is on a corner and very impossible to get out of. By design, by the way, that is totally by design. Every Wawa is at a corner where it is impossible to get out of. Once you're in, you're in. You're not getting out. I don't care who you are. Yeah, you're not leaving. The Sheets, though, is more out towards the Harrisburg West area. So going out there visiting Dad in the military back in the day. Yeah. I visited frequently the Sheets. If I did, I mean, I'm probably more biased on the Philadelphia side, so I will say Wawa in that regard. You can't go wrong with either one, to be perfectly honest. I think the only difference, like I said before, with the Sheets and the Wawa, Sheets you can sit down in, Wawa you can't. Wawa, you're pretty much in and out, and that's pretty much it. You know, that kind of a deal. So
it sounds convenient to eat in because I've had Wawa a couple times, and it would have, you know, my son and I just on a hockey trip, and we'd have to eat it in the car. I'm like, it would have been nice if I had a table just to sit down for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
chow down.
There are a couple of Wawas. I remember like it was one in Florida that I would sit down. It was like a table like in the shade. It was like, oh, this is great. I could just sit down and just, you know, whatever, sit down and just have something to eat there. But like the Northeast Wawas, there's no place to sit. You're pretty much like in and out, and that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Probably by design.
By design.
Okay, let's go. Let's talk ice cream.
For dessert.
So we're gonna go Breyers versus Turkey Hill.
Wow. Okay. Breyers all day. And the reason I say that, it has to do with their mint chocolate chip. Their mint chocolate chip is to die for. I love it. And it's wonderful because it's white and not your typical green mint chocolate chip. The mint comes from the actual chip itself, and that's what makes it great. So I am 100% Breyers mint chocolate. That was my all-time favorite ice cream, period.
I will be with you on Breyers, but for a different reason.
Okay.
And actually the plain vanilla.
Oh, very good.
I feel that Breyers makes the best vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah.
That is
I would not disagree with you. Yeah. I've had that too. Yeah, for me though, it's the mint chocolate chip though. I love that. I mean, that's just the all-time best. Yeah.
All right. Changing subjects a little bit. We're going off the food for a second. Hardware. Lowe's versus Home Depot.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, this one's hard. I had the bathroom redone with Lowe's.
Okay.
But Home Depot is closer to me, and so if there's a home repair I need to do, right over the Home Depot and just get it and come back. I don't know.
I think it's a push for me as well.
I think so. Yeah.
I go to Home Depot more often, but I think it's just because it's more convenient from where I am to get to.
Like I would trust the Lowe's to do like a major project. Like the Lowe's, I've gone to the Lowe's both times, not just for the bathroom, but also to replace the windows. And I'll probably do them for the patio door as well. Home Depot, it's like you just run in, get something, you come out. It's like, okay, you could go in and probably visit their departments and see what's available. But I mean, I've never done it before either. And it's like Lowe's has a better show floor, I guess, for that. And people are, you know, more ready to help you than maybe at a Home Depot. So I would probably, in that aspect, probably lean Lowe's just a little. But if I'm running to do a quick errand, I'm over at Home Depot quick. I mean, it's like right down the road.
I don't know. I might pick Home Depot. I think I've had them do something for me before.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think they did our kitchen countertop.
Did they?
I believe they did.
Okay.
Which I was very happy with. So
there you go.
Also, I don't know if Lowe's does this. Home Depot will allow you to rent a pickup truck.
Yes.
I actually rented one to haul.
Oh, there you go.
The walls here for the studio.
Yeah, there you go.
So that was nice. $20. I had a pickup truck, loaded it up, drove it home, drove it back, ready to go.
Done. Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Except the only problem was my dad was with me, and the whole drive over and back, because it's a Ford Super Duty. The whole way he's like, Super Duty. Super
Ford
Duty.
Super Duty.
So that was the only drawback.
He just kept saying over and over and over and over again. Oh my gosh.
I guess there's some appeal to it, but
I guess so. Get your Ford F-150 Super Duty.
All right, changing tracks again.
Let's do it.
Video games.
Oh,
Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis back in the day. Go for it.
Sega.
What?
Sega? Yes, Sega.
Shit.
Oh, will you stop it? Come on.
Super Nintendo had better sound quality than Sega Genesis.
Okay.
When you listen to the Mortal Kombat music between Genesis and Super Nintendo,
It's not even close.
It's not even close. Super Nintendo audio
Very good.
is better. Plus, Super Nintendo had Mario, Tecmo Super Bowl.
You're
Donkey
wrong,
Kong.
but go on.
Donkey Kong. The only thing Sega had going for it was Sonic the Hedgehog. That was it.
And NHL 94. Come on. NHL 94 was one of the greatest games of all time. I don't want to hear it.
But NHL 94 was also on Super Nintendo. So both systems. So, you got to suck it.
I don't think so. Wrong.
Speaking of sucking it, next one, changing gears again.
Right.
TV, Verizon versus Comcast. And
Verizon.
for me, it's not even close.
Yeah, it's Verizon.
Absolutely Verizon.
Yeah. Comcast, let me just hike up your rates even more. Thank you very much. And let me not give you a discount, even though, you're not using one of the 3 triple plays. Oh my gosh. I remember having that issue. I had a triple play package years ago.
Yeah.
And I wasn't using the phone, so I wanted to drop the phone. Oh, I don't know why you would want to do that. You're signed up for a triple play. It's because I'm not using the phone. Why would I pay you extra money for a service I'm not being provided? Well, it's why you signed up for him. I'm sorry, nothing we can do to help you. Great. Okay. So I'm going to leave you after this contract's over and go to Verizon. Been with Verizon. Love it. Haven't had any issues. Upgraded to their gigabyte, internet. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. No issues. So
I will concur. I had Comcast at my old house, and the cable boxes were constantly giving me problems.
Yeah, awful.
Yeah. When we moved to this house, we went to Verizon because it had FiOS. I think my last house, the FiOS was not there yet, and we moved here, and this house was FiOS ready. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. We've been with them ever since because I have not had nearly the number of technical issues that I had with Comcast.
Yeah.
So
Verizon, same
all the way.
Yeah, I think I've had to reboot the Comcast. I remember having to reboot the Comcast router in this condo multiple times because of outages and things. I've maybe had to do it once with Verizon in the 5 or 6 years that I've had them. Once. And it's I have never had an issue. None with their Wi-Fi. Just fantastic. So there you go. Now I've screwed myself because now that's all going to get all all screwed up. After I give them such high praise.
We're giving them praise. They should give us a discount.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So now last one, we're going to conclude. This is what I was saving for because this actually turned out to be way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Oh boy.
Chocolates. Well, not chocolate, candy, because there's some non-chocolate candy.
Okay.
Hershey versus Mars. I thought I was one way on this until I realized the brands
that were
between them, and then I was like, oh man, this is really hard. So Hershey's, you got obviously your name Hershey bar.
Yep.
And all that comes along
Classic.
with it. You got York peppermint patties,
Ooh.
Kit Kats.
Oh man. Reese's
peanut butter cups, Crackle, and you got Jolly Ranchers.
Oh my gosh.
So I thought this was a walk away.
Yeah.
Mars though.
Yeah.
M&M's, Three Musketeers, Milky Way, Snickers, if you're into that, Twix, and Skittles.
Yeah.
This is really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember you famously in one of our episodes when we were doing a candy tournament, we had Snickers at number 1 seed and you bounced them out of the tournament.
I did.
You bastard.
I don't want peanuts in my chocolate, goddammit.
Yeah, exactly.
So sue me.
Hard. God, Jolly Ranchers are right there, and they're my all-time favorite hard candy.
Really? I didn't know
that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, the moment I see a Jolly Rancher, it's like, yoink. And no matter what flavor. I prefer red, but I'll just grab it. What the hell? But then on the flip side, Snickers, my favorite all-time candy bar. Of my life, among others that were there. But then you have Reese's peanut butter cups and Kit Kat, and Kit Kat's number 2 on my list. So it's like,
interesting. Okay.
I think I'm going Hershey.
Ooh.
I think I'm going Hershey. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Bold.
Love for the home team there. Okay.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
I was leaning Hershey. And then I saw the Mars brands. I was like, oh, this is difficult because I love Three Musketeers.
Yeah, that's a great candy bar too.
Three Musketeers are fantastic. I like to eat all the chocolate and then eat the nougat. I'm weird that way.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
I love Skittles.
Yeah,
especially now that they brought the lime back.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did.
Wow.
They had lime and then they ditched it. They changed the green to green apple. And it was shit. And now they brought back the lime.
And you led the protest.
I did.
Bring us back the lime, damn it.
And they finally did it.
There you go.
So they did do it. And now that I'm pissed off about that, I am going Hershey's. Well, I love a regular Hershey bar.
Yeah.
And Reese's peanut butter cups.
Classic.
Or you put them in the freezer. There's nothing better.
No. Especially when you had to scoop it out like you did the last
week's
so
episode. That was so hard to do. not just physically, it was mentally hard. So like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
What is happening here?
What's wrong with me?
You can never also go wrong with a Reese's peanut butter cup sundae when Friendly's was back in the day. You want to talk about a great sundae? Whoa,
sure.
Whoa, was that awesome?
Sure. And if you've ever gone to what's the name of that ice cream place where they put all the shit in the ice cream? Cold Stone. I have had.
So they mix that in there?
Yeah, I've had a Kit Kat in a Cold Stone.
Oh man,
ice cream.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't do anything with caramel in there because the caramel gets really hard.
Yeah. That's the hard part about caramel. When it gets into a really cold environment, it'll freeze up really, really fast, unfortunately. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going Hershey's. So I'm with you, and I am Solidarity, Pennsylvania.
Team Hershey. Look at that right there. Yeah.
Hershey wins. But hey, Mars, I love you guys. I'll continue eating your products as well.
Not going to go wrong.
I am not going to discriminate. This is purely a mental exercise of if you had a gun to your head, which one are you picking? Put either one in front of me, I will eat them.
Yeah, exactly. That's
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And now that we have concluded episode 164 of Two Noobs Talking, it is time for the two of us to go bang our heads against the wall for an hour to burn off the Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah, definitely before Thanksgiving. We got to do this before Thanksgiving dinner, Steve.
Yes,
so
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And everyone out there, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, man.
Drive safe. Don't forget to check out twonoobstalking.wordpress.com. That's our website. All the good stuff is there. You can learn about our weird ways, like me eating straight nougat. I'll go put it up there right now. Choke on your nougat. Visit the website. All our past episodes you can access them from there. And again, you can get all your audio locations or use our RSS feed to whatever, weird ass audio profile program you're using.
There you go.
Just stop being weird. You know what I'm saying?
Too late.
YouTube us. Come on. At Two Noobs Talking. So, Matt, anything final to say to our lovely viewers before we get the heck out of here?
Yeah, I just want to wish everybody, again, a very happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and look forward to seeing you guys again next week. Another great episode. So, hang in there. Episode 165. It's crazy. Woo! Can't wait. Yeah. Should be a lot of fun.
Stay off the road in your Volkswagens.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for spending time with us here at Two Noobs Talking. If you want more episodes of Two Noobs, our entire catalog of our podcasts are available here on our YouTube channel, or you could search for us out on your favorite podcast listening platforms, such as Apple, Google, and Samsung Podcasts, along with YouTube Music and iHeartRadio, among others. Hey, while you're there, would you mind leaving us with a 5-star review? Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week with another great episode of Two Noobs Talking. Take care.